One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was getting into my teenage years was getting attached to people very quickly. Like literally anyone I spoke to. And considering I was a very introverted person, I'd barely speak to people, that kind of contributed to this problem where whoever I spoke to, yeah, immediately especially if I like had a good conversation with them, I would feel the need to be very humble to them, be very kind to them, always be available to them, and basically being a very very nice guy. And I know on the outside, that sounds great. People often preach, oh, you should be nice, you should be kind. But I will promise you one thing: if you are too kind, I don't know about women, but especially as a man, if you are too kind or too humble and always, be it a girl, be it a friend, whoever, when you're always there for them, you're always like, you're just available, you're just like there. It's not, in the long term, people will eventually start taking you less seriously. Whether that is a good thing, a bad thing, that's not up for me or you to decide, but that's the truth. I remember every time, whether I spoke to a girl or whatever, I felt great about it. I would suddenly, be extra kind to them. They text me, I reply in a couple of seconds and stuff like this. I thought in my head that, I need to be extra kind to them. I need to be super nice and stuff to them. And, even when I was busy and, they'd ask for help, I'd be like, oh, okay, put away my stuff and go help them. And looking back, it in the long term, all that did was decrease the level of seriousness they took me with, if that makes sense. People will, if you're always there for someone, if you're always just available and just needy to people, they will eventually start taking you very lightly. And I honestly don't think that is any fault of theirs, because there have been people in my life as well who've been like that. And eventually, after a point, it's like, okay, what are you doing with your own life? Do you have any self-respect for yourself? Are you taking yourself any seriously? Because at a certain point, I remember I was prioritizing them over my own life. I don't want to give off this example, but one of the major reasons why one of my previous relationships ended was purely because of the fact that I think I was too needy. I'll admit it, I was too needy, I was too humble, I was just this nice guy. And it got to a point where I was thinking about that person more than my own life. I literally forgot my own vision. Like, okay, whatever problem I had, it doesn't matter. She's there. That's literally what I thought in my head. And after a point, that attraction that a person has for you, and I'm talking about this from a girl's perspective, but even as a friend, whatever, that thing that the respect that a person has for you over time will decrease if you don't show a certain level of respect for your own self. You need to have some dominance for your own life, over your own life, if that makes sense. You need to have some control. You don't have to be the person that's always available to people. It's not all about being nice on this planet. I know if you speak to a random girl, they'll be like, oh, I want a nice, kind guy, that's what they'll say. But they themselves don't know that over a period of time, if they come across a really nice guy, over a few months, if like that guy is literally very, very like over the extreme kind, it's not a nice feeling. Do not get attached to people this easily. It's not worth it. And every example I'm giving you in this video is apart from your family. I'm not including people that you see every day, talk to every day, are super close about you, live with. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about other people, potential friends, your classmates, potential people you may have a relationship with, or I'm talking about those kind of people, right? And the way you do this by not getting attached to these people is not actually by consciously trying to do that. It's not like, oh, they text you. I've met some people, man, they'll tell me that, well, they won't tell me, but what they'll do is, let's say, just to appear busy, they will reply hours later, just to literally appear. They'll get a message and they'll, oh, let me reply to this, and then they won't, because they think that they're being too, that's literally what I'm asking you to do. Don't be like that, but actually make yourself busy. Start working on yourself. Just prioritize yourself, and over time, naturally, you will develop the personality where, yes, that core true personality of being a humble person is still there, because not everyone in this world is humble. Not everyone is a kind person, and that part of you will be there, but you're not going to be that guy who's just, okay, no matter what, he's there, I can just go to him. And eventually it'll get to the stage where people just don't take you seriously, and you will move away from that stage. Whereas you'll still be kind, you'll still be humble, all that, but you're not going to appear as a very needy guy anymore. You're not going to be appearing as a weak, soft person anymore, which is what people will perceive you as if you always just be there. If you get what I mean. I think you know what I mean, right? I don't know how to really put it in words, but yeah. And I don't think it's a case of, because I have this conversation with some people, and in the past they're always, oh, this generation's messed up. Even on YouTube videos, oh, if you're a nice guy and people don't appreciate you, the generation's messed up. I don't think the generation is messed up or has anything to do with it. I think like even myself, if I come across a person who's just over time it feels like they don't have anything to do with their own life and they're just always clinging on to me, it's not a nice feeling. It's like, I want you to do something to level up your own life. I want to have some self-respect for you. I want to have some respect for you as well. And if you itself you don't appear to me like you have any significant amount of self-respect for yourself, that I'm just not going to take you as seriously. It's as simple as that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that's how your brains are supposed to function. If you see someone with a great physique, you walk outside your house right now, you see a man who's tall, I don't know, freaking 30 years old, he has a great physique, you immediately respect him. You're not even made eye contact with him. You don't even care about what clothes he wears. You haven't even freaking spoken to him. You haven't even said hi to him. But yet you will develop a little extra 10% of respect just because you know the amount of work he's put into that physique, right? Because this guy, okay, he works on himself. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a physique, but you get the point, right? You want to work on yourself, just keep leveling up your own life, and that is how you don't get attached to people. If you're just there not doing anything the entire day and you just free all the time, it'll get to the point where people who you have conversations with, you start thinking about that a lot and you start kind of obsessing over that a lot. Even you may not even like that person, but it'll just play on your mind. So don't get to that stage, because I was in that stage I don't know, freaking 5-6 years ago, and it's not nice. It's not nice to know that eventually people who you're being very kind to start not taking you seriously. I remember one example where someone literally called me innocent, and that doesn't feel nice. I know it's like, oh, you're just innocent, that has nothing to do with it. But when someone comes at you at you're 14, 15, whatever, and they were like, I think, I don't know, someone was messing with me and this guy's like, oh, don't mess with this guy, he's innocent. Just that line, I don't know why it did not set right with me, but it did not fit in well with me at all. Like, I don't want to, not that I want to be a bad person, but like, I don't want to be known as an innocent guy. Being a kind, humble guy is different. Being innocent is different. Being innocent is literally you're bordering in on, you can't take care of yourself, you need someone else to pet you, and you don't want to get to that stage, right? So don't get over attached to people. I hope I haven't drifted away too much from my main topic, but don't get over attached to people. Yeah, focus on yourself.